Hello again and welcome back to my channel. My name is Colleen. I talk about books. Today we're doing my November TBR and I'm pretty excited about this one. It's falling into 4 very distinct categories. November is always the time of year where I try to read books that I haven't finished yet. So there's a couple books that I have started and not read. There's a book from last month's TBR that I'm carrying over, some continuations in series that I've decided to try and do this month, and some books that I just want to read. So, without further ado, let's start with the books that I have yet to finish. So, the first one is Find Me. I started reading this for a workbook club and just never finished. I got 4 chapters and 23 pages. So, gonna try and finish this. I started reading this when my grandmother died, so that was probably the problem there. It's a thriller. I remember being very excited about it, but I don't have any recollection of what it's about. Another book that I started reading right when my grandmother died was Sue Grafton's A is for Alibi. This is a bind up. It also has B is for Burglar in it. I will read both of them. This one I got farther and I'm 104 pages. I picked this one up because my grandmother loved this series and I wanted to feel close to her. But then, you know, grief, etc. And around that time I also started reading Hidden Valley Road by Kolker. And I got 20 pages into this. I was just reading it 1 chapter at a time. This is about a family that has many schizophrenics within it, and it's very interesting so far. So I do hope to finish this month. And finally, one that I started a little bit over a year ago, A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. There wasn't any reason why I didn't finish this. I'm 92 pages in. I just didn't pick it back up when I got home from camping. There was other things that I was prioritizing at that time, and this ended up not being one of them, unfortunately. So, that's all the things that I have started. My rollover from last month is The League of Gentlewomen Witches by Holton. This is probably going to be my priority right at the beginning of the month because I want to update my Spooky Reads TBR on TikTok, and this is the last book from that TBR that I have to read. I just want to let people know what I thought about all of them. I think that that is something useful to do with TBRs because obviously they're very aspirational, but you never get to find out like what people thought about the books all the time. Anyways, I just finished the first book in this series today. It was okay for me. I'm hoping that this one's going to be a little bit better, and I think it also has flying houses, which I think is the part that I like the most of the last book, so that is exciting. On to series. I'm going to talk about these in the order in which I want to prioritize them. First of all, I want to read The Enemy by Lee Child. This is obviously a used copy. All of my Lee Child is used. If you've been following me for a while, you might be surprised that Lee Child is on here because I started out really disliking him and now I'm addicted to his books. But the new season of Jack Reacher is coming out soon and I have 4 books to catch up on. So I want to read at least this month, if not one more. I have these 2, the next 2 physically, and then I have 2 on hold from the library already. So, this. My goal for the next, until I'm done the series, is to read 1 of these a month. The Wheel of Time. This one is The Winter's Heart. It's book 9. It looks like Perrin might play a big part in it, who's my favorite character right now, so that's exciting. But I would like to get this done. So, we have that. And then I have Blood of Elves. I'm not going to try and pronounce this author's name. I understand that this is now a controversial thing because, R.I.P. Anyways, so I do actually want to watch the first 3 seasons of The Witcher, for sure. And my brother promises me that after I read this, there will be no spoilers in the first season. So I want to read this so I can watch the first season of The Witcher. There we go. And then just the books that I want to read. We'll start off with Sex Cult Nun by Faith Jones. Obviously I wanted to read this because I have already bought it. Tracy's staff picked it. She's one of my friends from Indigo. But I did just hear Faith Jones talk on A Little Bit Culty, one of my favorite podcasts, which has really sparked me to pick this up. It's about her experience being raised in the Children of God. Her grandfather was the founder of that cult. So I'm very interested in reading this. I think I say excited too much, but I also don't want to say excited for this because I know it's going to be a more difficult read. So there we go. And finally, 2 other nonfiction books that I want to read is Everybody Has a Podcast Except You by the McElroys, and So You Want to Start a Podcast by Kristen. I actually have already started this one. I don't have a bookmark in it, so I don't know where I got in this, but I have started this one. But I am throwing around the idea of starting my own podcast, so I wanted to do some reading about it in peak me fashion. Listening to podcasts is one of my favorite things, so why not do it? Is the market saturated? Probably, but who knows? So yes, this is what I plan to read this month. Is it optimistic? Yes. Is it a pipe dream? Perhaps also yes, because there's probably other things that I'm going to end up reading. But regardless, we are going to do our best. Hopefully not take out too many books from the library and ruin this beautiful stack. But thank you so much for watching. If you read any of these books and want to tell me what you thought about it down below, that would be great. Or if you also want to read one of these books, let me know that too, and maybe we can read it together. That could be fun. But that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.